I hate you all.
Everybody's screwed.
There, that's the last lure.
Welcome to SnatchTalk. Oh, hello there, it's me, the Velvet Snatch. Well, it was the semi-finals of Newcastle Drag Idol 2026 on Sunday at Rusty's Showbar. Now, as I've said before, this is always the most crucial week of the competition, where we find out which 4 contestants will be making it through to the grand final at Boulevard. There are 7 performers left, and so tonight we'd have to say goodbye to 3 of them, so the pressure was on for everyone to do their very best. The theme, as always, was Props and Live Week, where everyone had to do a 3-minute performance, including a randomly assigned prop, followed immediately by 2 minutes of live mic work. It was going to be extra tough this time as well, because it had been Derby Day in Newcastle, which is a big local football event, so there were a lot of people out in town and on the drink. After a pre-show by Drag Idol 2025 finalist Lillian Larkin, including some of her incredible live vocals, it was time for Gladys Duffy, in an interesting choice of attire that would be referenced throughout the night, to take to the stage, purely to make a specific joke.
Yellow.
Next out was the ever-glamorous Plastique, who stated that unlike previous years of the competition, it was anyone's game for who gets through to the final this time. But what advice did she have for the contestants and their live sections?
Don't be scared of the microphone. That's one thing that I've found a lot over the years. People, when they're not used to using a mic, will hold the mic here. You want the mic to be here, and don't hook the back of the stage. If you're talking to the audience, come down here, talk to the audience. Hello, how are you? How are you? How are you? Get in the audience's face, because the audience, I assume, want to hear what these contestants have to say, and you want to be involved in the action. Am I right? And that's how you would do it.
Parmo Queen and legend of Middlesbrough Penny T was out next, play fighting with Gladys about their war of words last week, and giving us our first Teletubbies joke of the night.
Well, I thought Icons Week was last week, but hey, Lala's turned up from the Teletubbies tonight, everybody!
Yeah, and I'll fill you with tubby custard.
Naughty Nunu.
What did Penny want to see from the contestants tonight, however?
I would like to see it used in a clever way. If I think about things, hang on, I forgot her name. Who had the scarf?
All of this back in
Dis,
2018.
right, yeah. And when she brought out the scarf as if it was a snake from the boxer, nobody expected that. That was clever. But more than that, I'm more interested in what they're going to do with 2 minutes on a microphone. 2 minutes doesn't sound a long time, but if you remember, and she won't mind me saying this, but whatever year it was that Bella B. Campbell was in the show, we all thought that Bella was an absolute certain to go through the final. And then she ended up going home that week, so who knows what's going to happen? No one knows.
We could be in for a real shocker tonight.
We could.
Next up was someone I was very excited to see, special guest judge and Drag Idol superfan Yshee Black, and she had a special announcement to make.
First of all, sorry. Hi, Mum, I'm on the telly! I'm on the telly! And my white French Jew, hello! I've got to keep them entertained, you see. You know.
Yshee, you've been watching this year?
Yes, I have.
Of course, we've seen on Instagram you're always posting reviews and messaging me saying, what the fuck is coming up? So, I want to know, going into tonight, this is the semi-final, who are you most excited to see live in the room rather than just on your telly?
I love them all so dearly. You know what, Khloe Kennedy, I really enjoyed this season, and I'm excited to see. This is semi-finals, so I've done a few competitions and created some. Semi-finals I take quite seriously, because this is your last shot to make it to the final. If anything, I think doing this tonight means more than the final, because this is showing the whole crowd in the bar everything that you've learned up till now. And really, I don't want to see like a competition. I want to see a performance from you as your act. Okay?
Oh yeah, like a fully fledged drag show. Forget the competition, don't think about us, just perform well.
Also, I'm selling me merch after. So I've got signed prints. You know what I mean? Bastard drag. So if you want some, the Delta Quadrant said she'll help me out because I need a skinny white one to help me out. But you can have that one for free, darling. Go on, treat yourself.
Oh, isn't that nice? If you want a signed photo of Yshee, just go. Where do they meet you? Outside afterwards?
Yeah, they'll meet me somewhere around here, darling. Don't worry.
And yes, it wouldn't be Drag Idol without the legend herself, Queen of the Purple Palace, mighty purveyor of mugs, Miss Rory.
Oh, shut up. Okay.
And how were the mug sales going?
There's six left behind the bar. Yeah, we'll get some more printed next week for the final. I mean, this old fucking tart's turning up here on my fucking patch selling shit. You know what I mean? There's gonna be gangland warfare in a second, Washing. It's gonna go fucking light in here, girl. Anyway, she's fucked off now.
Sorry, I just didn't want to get involved in the turf while you were trying to start.
It's that mobland, isn't it? I'll be Helen Mirren, you can be Pierce Brosnan.
With Rory going on to regale us about some recent foot problems she'd been having.
Oh, I've had a fucking time of it, Gladys. I've had a corn, right, on my foot, not on the cob. I've had it... Oh, fuck, it's here. You've had a few things shoved up you and spun around, haven't you? Now, wasn't butter she was covered in, it was sambuca. She dribbled her drink, it was a drink, she dribbled her drink.
But what advice did she have for the live section?
Just fucking go for it, you know what I mean? We were chatting before, weren't we, girls? Saying that I think we've seen the majority, probably 80% of them, we've seen them do their live already. Back in the day, you didn't hear a contestant pick a microphone up till live week, but this time, all the way through. I think there's a couple, maybe 2 or 3, 4 maybe, that we haven't seen, but they could be the surprise, couldn't they? I don't think anybody's in any danger tonight of the live tripping them up. The props, maybe.
With all the judges sat down and ready to go, it was time for Gladys to remind us of the prizes awaiting the winner, including £500 of cold, hard cash, with Gladys testing the water for whether a mug might be included, only for Miss Rory to tease and offer a £5 discount to the winner. That's business for you. Now, before we got on to the performers, I got time to speak to the lady herself about the competition so far and the merch game. However, I will confess I lost track of time a little bit here. Luckily, Miss Rory is as gracious as she is demure.
I'm having an interview! It's about you! My friend, Betty! Ah!
Oh, hello there, it's me, the Velvet Snatch, and I'm joined by the Queen of Idol, the Queen of Newcastle, according to the Chronicle, I suppose.
That was the region. That's the region's funniest queen. Not just Newcastle.
I love that you know this.
I know they rang me and said, can we go with that? I said, you can have it.
Yeah. Miss Rory, how are you doing, my dear? How do you feel about the competition this year?
Oh, I love it. It's really good. It's really good every year, isn't it?
Yeah.
But this year, after what was maybe a slow start, I think everybody on week 1 was a bit like, ooh, what's going on?
Yeah.
You know, it's the horse has bolted. It's fantastic.
Well, was it really? Because I didn't notice. Everyone was like, you know, obviously you judges were kind of saying like, oh, week 1 was a bit crap kind of thing. And I was like, no, I didn't feel it. Like, I really enjoyed week 1. But then when week 2, it hit like a truck because you were like, whoa, this is this is better, you know.
I don't think week one was crap. I just don't think it had the momentum that we were maybe expecting. But then, as you say, then it's boom.
How do you feel about the competitors this year? Because obviously, like, there were a lot of unknowns when we first started. I mean, you probably not aware of too many of them at the start.
I didn't know any of them.
Competition. Yeah. Like, how does it feel now? Like, are there any that you're really rooting for? Or?
Yeah, I don't usually make a list at the beginning. Everybody else makes a list, and they say, this is who, you know, I think it's going to be in the final, the top 4 or whatever. But I did it from week 2.
Yeah.
And this is the first time I've done it, and I think I'm going to be right. They're such a mixed bag of talent, really. I said last week, actually, I think, during the show, that the 4 that are going to be in the final are going to be so completely different.
Yeah.
Which for them is quite scary, because they're not going to know, you know, what the other ones are going to pull out. But for us, it's fabulous because we get to sit and watch a really varied show.
Well, that's it. You know, it's like if they were all sort of, what's it, PCSD?
Oh, actually,
yeah. I don't know how to do that. But if they're all that, then it's like the same thing at the final. Yeah. But the fact is, you're going to get 4 totally different numbers, no matter who gets through this week. And there's something really exciting about that. Like,
that absolutely is. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's that sort of diversity in drag. They're all bringing something completely different to the table, but all as fantastic as each other in their very own way, which is what you want.
Well, that's why people love like the Newcastle scene, because we do have that. We have this total variety of performers and stuff, and like people look about like that. That's why people like the guest judge tonight, Yshee Black, who's like obsessed with it, watching it on YouTube and stuff like that. Like, yeah, it's become an institution, Newcastle Drag Idol.
Oh, it completely has. It's mad. The messages that I'll get from people through the week, which is lovely as well, so thank you, from literally all over the place. Finland, a lot of Americans, Vegas, Boston,
Michigan, I think.
Was there Illinois? Yeah. Illinois. And then somewhere else that I can't remember. Was it Arkansas? Somewhere really, really random. Oh, Texas. And like, you know, it's mad, the reach that it's got, and it's just bringing joy to other people, which is just so fantastic.
Well, that's it. They're addicted. They're watching it on YouTube. Everywhere. They're waiting for it, kind of thing. I got messages being like, "When's SnatchTalk coming out?" I'm like, "Who are you?" You know, and it's wonderful. But
exactly.
But how does it feel for this being the 20th year of the competition, though? Like, because you've done a fair whack of them. You know, how long have you been doing Idol?
Too long, some would say, and I would agree. Really, 2013, I think it's probably probably done 13 or 14.
Yeah,
I think. Which is a lot.
Well, that's it. But the fact is, it's wonderful that you've been reinvigorated with it. Like, you know, you were saying last year about how you come down, you just enjoy the show. You're just like, what's going to happen? Yeah. You know, it doesn't feel like a job. It's just like going, hey, what are we going to see tonight?
Yeah, and it used to be back in the day, you'd come to see the car crash, you know, and I don't think that there's any getting around that. You did used to come and think, oh my God, these people are going to be absolutely fucking awful, and I can't wait to see it. However, now, as you say, I come in, I'll sit, I'll watch, I'll be entertained.
Yeah.
And as a judge, quote unquote, it wouldn't be my place to tell these people what to do in a lot of ways, because they're doing something completely different to me. Every single performer this year, as I said before, is completely different. But, you know, I couldn't do all of that business.
Yeah.
So, you know, who am I to judge?
But that's it, you know, but that's why, you know, you're judging the audience, you know, you're looking at the audience, you're looking at, like, everything else and giving, like Penny was saying, like, you know, they can only judge them so far on their performance and stuff, and that's why there's multiple judges.
Yeah. I like to keep just a real broad overview, and I always look at, you know, the competition as a whole when we go back and discuss what's going on, as you know yourself, because you've been back in a sanctum, have you not? When you were a guest judge.
I have.
I'll say
it was an honour.
Yeah, and it was a joy. You know, I'll always say if somebody's had an off week, say, but you know, for the other 3 weeks they were fantastic. Oh, they were great last week. You know, so I look at the whole thing as a package, really. Yeah. And then of course we finish next week and we see what the outcome of that package is.
Well, that's it. I mean, this is the semi-finals now. Anything could happen. I was saying to Penny T earlier, like, how scary it is. Like last year we thought that Bella B. Campbell was like a dead shoe-in for the final, and then obviously their live week ended up sending them home. Yes. Was that last year or was it the year before?
Oh, I can't remember.
I don't know. It was the year I was a guest judge. But, you know, stuff like that. Like, so, yeah, what are you expecting from the night?
Well,
in
a
regards to that?
lot of them we've already seen there live.
Yeah.
Haven't they? It used to be back in the day that nobody would pick up a microphone until live week. Now, week 1, they're doing live, 2, 3, 4, you know. Yeah. So I think a lot of them are already quite comfortable with that. There's a couple that I don't think we've heard speak overly. So I think that'll be really interesting. But like I always say, it's not for everybody. Some people don't want to do live. You know, like I'm saying before that, I don't want to do, well, I can't do mime or putting tracks together and all that kind of thing. So, you know, again, you sort of judge them on their past performances there. And if they slip up on live, you think, yes, but they've been very good at everything else. Do they need to be able to do live? Do they? Some people would say, yeah, they need to be able to hold a crowd. But if they're DJing in a bar, they might not want to be a fucking DJ in a bar. Yeah. You know what I mean? They might just want to go out and do numbers. So it's a sticky one, live week. But I don't think there's going to be any disasters. Yeah. She says 10 minutes before the show.
Do you think that this might be the only year where we're not worrying about the live section? Because it's usually the live section that sends people home, and the prop section is like, oh, they do fairly well with that. Do you think it's going to be the prop section that sends people home this year?
Do you know, I think this year it's hard to call. Yeah. You don't know what's going to happen, really. The props, of course, last week was a little bit of a twist, wasn't it?
So devious.
Write it down and pass it to the left. Or was it the right? Or was it the left or the right? Well, just make sure it's not yours. So that was fantastic. But none of the props, interestingly, were really that out there.
Yeah. Like, you know? A shot glass, it was just what a strange thing to write down. Yeah. It's like, oh, I could make a number out of this. It's like, oh, okay.
But did people have the presence of mind in that moment to think, oh, shit, props week, I've got a number where I use X, Y, Z? Did they, or did they get caught completely on the hop and they didn't even think about that? So tonight we'll find out. I'm going to ask them if that was the case.
Ah, brilliant. Yeah. And finally, do you have a favourite performance of the year so far?
Oh, I have a few. Yeah. Rose West last week was just everything drag should be, you know. Bloody fantastic, hilarious.
I've been singing Patio all week. That's come into my head throughout every day.
Well, we've had this nice weather this week, haven't we? And I was out in the front the other day trimming my hydrangeas, as one does, and just sort of digging over my beds. And I started giggling to myself with the trowel in my hand. It was like, fucking hell, come on, put yourself together. I loved that. I loved the Traitors one. I thought that was just so much fun for the characterization. Good. That was fantastic. And if I had to pick one more, the doubles week.
Yeah. With Dena and Euphoria?
Yep. Yeah, fantastic. So 2 Denas there.
That's the thing. Let's see what happens tonight. But no, thank you so much for speaking to me, Miss Rory. Good luck tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for giving us Snatch Talk every week. It really is appreciated. Lovely velvet. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Now, on to the contestants. First up was Euphoria Storm, who'd been given the prop of a bottle. Well, how would she use it? Honestly, as a concept, this was a great use of the prop, as Euphoria interrupted a wedding as a drunken aunt.
Hello!
Why is she here? God, she looks fat. It's nice.
Using quotes from Rory to great effect and upsetting everyone present.
It was beige, wasn't it? It was a stand and sing. I love that girl condone choreography. She did the fucking splits and she couldn't get back up. That is our fucking choreography. Bob Fosse was choreography. That was just a person doing the fucking splits on stage. It's someone that's you're not. I was. I'm famous, you're fat. It's all about you, unicycle.
But move out of the way and let your happy Shayla show you how it's done.
Going into full embarrassing aunt mode.
Here I am. I come on. And then it's all so nice. Woo! Come on, kids, get up. No, you want to. I'm not embarrassing. So small, come on. What's this?
As I said, it was a great concept, but the execution was a bit mundane, with Euphoria tottering around the stage and relying on quotes from either Idol or what I assume was something from TikTok. There was a lot more that you could do with it. The live started off strong, with some jokes aimed at the judges.
Hello! I think it's about time I said a few words. Before writing this speech, I asked the best men and them for some jokes. It's not my bollock this time, though. So I asked the judges, best that I don't know, for some jokes. Penny was too busy picking that fella up from school. Thank you. I asked Plastique for a joke, but you told me to ask Rory because they're basically the same thing. And Rory asked who I was and tried to sell me a mug. It worked.
But teetered off slightly with some audience interaction that was good but felt slightly awkward.
My nose is so big. Thank you. Even Penny Arcade called and she wants hers back.
There was also some shade at her fellow contestants, but that, while good on paper, it didn't land as well as it should have done.
I've learned a lot during the planning of this wedding. Alita Vodka follows the 11th commandment, thou shalt not brush wigs. I learned Khloe Kennedy is an amazing dancer, but with her experience dodging coat hangers as a fetus, it makes a lot of sense. And I also learned that Dena Harts' husband looks really good as a prison guard. That's not a joke, just an observation.
Plastique called it quite fun, but admitted that it was Euphoria's weakest number so far, saying that she'd expected more and that the excitement just wasn't there for the live. Penny was equally disappointed, saying that she couldn't hear a lot of the sound clips and that a lot of the jokes in the live just didn't land. Yshee, as an aficionado of this style of performance, had a very valid feedback to give.
Hey Babs, you alright, darling?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, I'm fabulous. You know what, I do agree with what the judges have said. I think what it is if you're going to sort of like crash the wedding, I want you to go in big. You know what I mean? I want you to come on, fall on the floor, or make a big impact. I think what was happening is you were resting on the bottle a bit too much to get drunk, to show that you're getting drunk. And actually you in your own act should have really just physicalized it a bit more. And actually, if you're gonna crash your wedding and you're the centerpiece of that, then make it the centerpiece. Because I realized the other two, they were just there and they were taking focus away from you. And it's your number, you know what I mean? And it's what you are here to do. And I understand the concept and I really enjoy the concept. I just think you really could have just really gone for it, balls to the wall. If you're gonna fucking do it, fucking do it. If you're gonna be drunk at a wedding and crash it and slag off the, groom and have this whole speech that's fucking chaos that nobody knows what's going on because you're a drunken mess after your whole drunken performance, then do that. You know what I mean? I felt you're holding back a little bit. Like, just fucking go for it. Roll on the fucking floor if you're crashing a wedding, darling. You know what I mean? Have that confidence to do that with yourself.
Rory agreed with the others, saying that the awkwardness helped in places and loving the toilet roll on the shoe, going on to ask Euphoria how she felt it had gone.
Well, it is what it is, isn't it? Yeah.
With Rory ultimately agreeing with Plastique that it was Euphoria's weakest number, but stating that she would be getting judged on her performance throughout the competition, rather than just this one. Next up was the wonderfully wild Crystal Lapel, and I was very excited to see what she'd bring to the stage with her prop of a shot glass. After some initial stage setup from Chris, Crystal came out in full cowgirl drag, complete with some low-hanging tartars.
You got to know when to hold up, know when to fold up, know when to walk away, know when to run.
Going through some vague line dancing moves and swinging a rope around for a section, to dancing to a sped up version of Cotton Eye Joe. Needing to take a break for a drink, a shootout commenced at the bar with Crystal caught in the middle. There wasn't much actual lip sync, which was a shame, and there didn't seem to be much actual line dancing either, which I think let her down. Plus, she was out of breath for the live.
Please bear with me a moment, I'm not as fit as I thought I was. And line dancing's harder than it looks. I thought it was just...
Crystal decided to use her live in a very different way to usual though, explaining more about the backstory of her character and the venue.
So, the bar back and beyond was the bar near the trailer park where I grew up, in the Bareback and Beyond, its very original name. And this sign was painted by a guy called One Eye Willie, and I ain't never met a Willie that had more than one eye.
Going on to make it very politically relevant, both to the world as a whole right now and the drama that we have throughout the Newcastle scene.
You know how a bunch of crows is called a murder and a bunch of rats is called a mischief? A bunch of queens is called a bitch. So there was a bitch in the local area and they would put on a drag show on a Friday or a Saturday night at the bar back and beyond, and it was great. People came from all over to watch, and then some other queens from other areas wanted to come and join in and be part of an amazing, wonderful, diverse, inclusive community. And then something all went a bit wrong with the dynamic in the group, and they all got to bitching and fighting amongst themselves. So when the Bible bashers came and said, we don't think these drag shows are appropriate, they were all so busy bitching amongst themselves that nobody could stand together and say why drag is valid and valuable. So the Bible bashers won, and there's no drag shows now, and now they've been made illegal. We may never see a drag show at the bar back and beyond. The moral of the story is, when your passion and your art form is being threatened by the wider world, that's when you need to stand together and stop bitching amongst yourselves.
Yes!
Thank you and good night.
Penny was a bit lost for the narrative for the number, getting Crystal to explain it a bit, but was disappointed with the live. Whereas Yshee loved the whole scenario, but pointed out the tightrope of saying what you want to say while still being entertaining, suggesting that she should have made the live more empowering. Rory loved it and the outfit, but saying that the rope bit and explaining the bar went on for a bit too long, calling the live almost apologetic and lacking her usual zing, with Crystal explaining why she chose to do what she did.
I knew this was is that on?
Yeah, baby.
Sorry. Yeah, it was a risk, and it wasn't what I wanted to do, but I've really struggled with the drama that's gone on this week, and I'm a bit of a softie. And
the drama in the competition?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. So not like how it's made you feel?
Yes. So, and my take from the whole thing was just that, you know, whatever your differences are, we as a community need to stand together because there's worse things out there. And so I felt, and it was quite sort of last minute, but I felt I needed to say something, so it probably did come across a bit.
Whereas Plastique liked the reactive nature of the performance to a current situation, understanding Crystal's choices, but calling the number not one of her best. Finally, Gladys agreed with the message, but pointed out that there were much more engaging ways to get it across to the audience. Strawberry Fat Cake Erotica was out next with a wonderfully unhinged number. Given the prop of a frying pan, Strawberry came out to announce,
"Did you guys know I'm pansexual?"
going on to get her yolks out and sing a parody song about her sizzling sex life.
Oh, this is getting well steamy. Think we need some lubrication.
Corn oil makes it simple because it's been shown to help lower cholesterol 2 times more than extra virgin olive oil. A smart choice for your family is easy.
And I'm too sexy for this pantry. Getting steamy in my panties, frying pan up inside me. I'm soothing my needs. You know what I mean. I will do a little dance on the counter.
Before realising that they hadn't used protection and that she was now pregnant before giving birth to a baby Pan.
Several months later.
Now somebody, anybody, everybody screwed.
It was funny and ludicrous with great use of props and her outfit. The live was great too, with Strawberry engaging well with the audience and having a real confidence with her jokes.
I love you all! Hiya, I'm your name. What's fat? Are you feeling hungry, Rusty? Are you absolutely starving? Are you famished for some comic relief? Well, if you are feeling some pain and you need actual relief, I might have some ibuprofen or Scott and cough I can find.
Some of them didn't land, but her charisma kept the enthusiasm going, with many jokes demonstrating her ability to both make a point while keeping it entertaining.
When I'm up in the club, I like to dance, and a guy comes up to me. Hey, what's your name? I go, hiya, I'm Strawberry, what's your Uber Eats rating? And he asks me, what's a fun fact about you? I go, I'm fat. He goes, you're not fat, you're gorgeous. Excuse me, can I not be both? But you know what? Looking at this judges panel, I am hopeful. I mean, Plastique found love and got skinny. Penny found love and has a great personality. The difference is, there is one key difference. When Plastique found love, their dates include going to get the Manjaro, and it was recommended to Penny, but Penny got it confused with Manjaro's the chain chicken restaurant.
Just brilliant. Yshee Black was the first to give their feedback before the return of Sissy Chrissy.
Strawberry, you fat fuck, I loved it! I fucking loved it! What the fuck is going on?
Sorry, Sissy Chrissy is experimenting with his Cher tribute act.
Whoa! It's Diana Chris!
Oh, it's me, Chris Howell!
Anyway, sorry.
So, Strawberry, wow, that was great. I really, really enjoyed that. Really well thought through, really executed very well. You know, I didn't have an issue with the act. I thought the sound could have been a bit better. But so, with that being said, I would have liked to see it as you doing it live.
Yeah.
So you did it as a parody. And so when you were talking, I was like, oh my God, you're natural, you're funny, this is great. That could have been the start. And that led on to the frying pan number. And that would be absolutely phenomenal. Like, I would pay to see that. You know what I mean? So it was really good. You were really confident. Everything just worked well.
Rory absolutely loved it and the confidence, and said that she'd known it would be a good use of the prop, praising that Strawberry had remembered to perform to the audience and not just the judges this week. Plastique called it wonderful, loving the direction that she'd taken it, saying that Strawberry had floored her, before going on to make the obligatory nonce joke of the night.
You're actually quite lucky that Penny isn't pansexual. She'd be after that little newborn, wouldn't she?
And a mouthful of water from a mug. Then he choked you and he killed me and all your wishes would come true.
I'm just impressed you did a fucking funny.
But not as funny as Strawberry, because that live was absolutely fucking immaculate, Strawberry.
Next, it was Penny to give her critique as Plastique ran off to use the facilities.
Make this long, because if I don't piss now, I'm going to piss myself.
Are you actually going to go for a wee?
You could do it in a mug.
It was the best number in live so far, according to Penny, who loved the baby frying pan gag, calling Strawberry a front-runner for the final, and loving the mention of Manjaro's chicken restaurant, with Gladys suggesting that they should all go there, like the Toby Carvery last time. Dena Harts was supposed to be next, coming out and beginning her number with some live mic work, but there was a technical issue.
I have off. I think there's 2 tracks playing at the same time. There's
one moment.
I'm so sorry, guys.
The number stopped while Chris did some backstage tinkering and an impromptu break was called, with the judges talking about doing some shots. When everyone was back and the issue was fixed, it was shot time for the judges.
The last time we all did a shot together was at Rory's birthday. Well, cheers.
Cheers to technical difficulties, make some noise! Well, that's fucking horrible. Right.
It's lovely. That was nice, that.
We're having Baileys!
Nice Baileys cream.
We have different tastes, as you can tell.
Oh, I can. You have it. She has it.
After this, Dena returned for a second attempt at the number, coming out on her unfortunate prop of a bicycle.
Hello everybody, my name's Penny Farthing and I'm from LA. I've been watching Drag Idol on YouTube and I wanted to make it to Newcastle, England for the semi-final, but I have no money for a flight, just this bike and a dream.
Going into a customised version of Go the Distance from Hercules as she cycled through all of Europe to get to Drag Idol, getting in some great Duolingo-themed gags.
I have to cycle through all of Europe and I've been practicing bonjour, hola, grazie, Krakensfesta. Now entering France. No, rien de rien. No, I have baguette bien. Fromage frais, you are gay. Who is gay? Could I have a croissant?
Before eventually getting through to Newcastle.
Now entering Newcastle. I have found my way. I am a drag idol. I am there someday and I will be strong. I don't care how far. I can go the distance. Drag Idol is a place where I belong. Where I belong.
It was a really good number, and I liked that she'd built the narrative around the prop. Also note just how clever the track was, with sound effects and the bell rings reminding her when she needed to move on to the next section. The live was masterful also, with Dena even making getting off the bike into a gag. Going on to cast some shade at the judges and our guest judge.
Yshee Black? Don't ask me, I'm not getting involved. No, thank you.
And even making the brave move to throw some shade at Miss Rory herself.
Now, Miss Rory reminds me of my dear mum. She's dead. Every week, Rory comes parading this cheap mug and the one she's trying to sell.
Even Gladys wasn't safe.
Gladys, can I borrow you a second? I didn't have a read for you, but now I do. You know the saying, when life gives you lemons, you don't make fucking that. Thank you.
Dena then turned to her fellow contestants, and while some jokes didn't land, she managed to get the audience back on side.
It's actually that she ate all of the Madeira cake. No! Oh yes, Khloe Kennedy.
What did Miss Rory think about getting red herself, though?
She's hardly toe-to-toe with you. She's in a competition for £500. I wouldn't get out of bed or into bed for £500.
Going on to state that she'd had no doubt that Dena would storm this week, loving that the curse of the bike hadn't struck again, calling it all fantastic and getting drag idol all-star Layla Sphinx in the audience to clarify that Dena's German had been sehr gut. But going on to say,
maybe one day you will go the distance but never talk about my fucking mug again. Just fabulous. I look forward to you every week.
Plastique started her critique with a story about Dena's wig.
Well, Dena's hair, for clarity, I walked in tonight and Dena Godlover was backcombing the saddest little wig I've ever seen in my entire life. And she just looked at me and went, help! And I went, that's beyond hope, Flower. So I popped backstage.
You mean she went,
so I popped backstage and popped that one on her head and you look gorgeous.
Oh, so you've done a dirty
Yeah, I fucked it over. Like you and all your contestants at week 2. Fucking shut up.
Well, not a man in the bottom 3, just saying.
Stating that she absolutely fucking loved Dena, saying that she was everything that this competition was about. Penny called her nothing short of sensational, going on to say,
Dena, I seriously think you should borrow another wig of Plastique's because I do see you taking a crown and she's never had one in 2 times of doing this competition. Well done, you are amazing, amazing.
Finally, Yshee celebrated the confidence, loving the live and the joke directed at her, calling Dena captivating and that she was excited to see her at the final. Another great performance was next, with Vixen Valentine coming out with her prop of a broomstick, using it masterfully in a takedown of the Queen Turf herself, J.K. Rowling. Now, I will warn you that this performance includes a gratuitous use of the T-slur, so I'm sorry if that makes you uncomfortable, but you have to see this number.
I hate you all!
You troublesome tranny.
Author J.K. Rowling is trying to explain her views on gender identity again after facing backlash from social media and those who brought her literature to the big screen.
With Rowling going on to perform a parody of ABBA's Money, Money, Money.
In my dreams, I have a plan to ban all trannies as fast as I can. I wouldn't have to tweet at all, I'd fool around and have a cigar. Trannies, these awful trannies in this turf's world. Trannies, ban these trannies from my made-up world. All the hate I can spread, I'll donate a lot of money to For Women Scotland.
Receiving the High Court ruling that she'd paid for and coming out in a boat with a cigar. Her celebrations were short-lived, however, as Drag Idol All-Stars winner and proud trans woman Mia T. Cleaver came out to kill her with a spell. It was brilliantly done, and the lyrics on the parody song were really well thought out. Plus, it was great to see JK finally getting her comeuppance. What about the live though? Well, for this, Vixen got up, revealed a new wig, and introduced us to a whole new character.
Hey loves, hello, I thank God that transphobe's finally fucking dead. Now, I'm Auntie Susie. Unfortunately, Vixen was quite unwell this week, so I had to get the X10 up from Borough and leave my gorgeous little caravan. Now, I don't know much about this draggy, waggy stuff and stuff like that. I try and keep up with the RuPaul, and that Michael Barge or something, I don't really know. But when I do that, I do like to have it with a lovely cup of tea. Not out of a Fizzing At The Gash mug, I've heard that that's a thing. I have to have it out of the Sports Direct one because I'm from a council estate.
It was good, but not quite as engaging as the main performance, as Auntie Susie told us about her life and offered some sage words of advice.
Now, I came here to give some advice, and I tried to get some agony and questions. I didn't get much from anyone, but my biggest word of advice is always remember, don't shit where you eat, and always remember to lube before it goes in because it can be quite sore.
What did the judges think of it though? Well, Plastique needed to be reminded that this was actually Vixen.
Mr. Jack, who did you say this was?
Andy Susie.
Yes.
Vixen Valentine.
Vixen Valentine?
Exactly.
Vixen Valentine, that little thing from week 1 that was shaking like a spinning whippet. There's not a fucking chance in hell that this is the same Vixen Valentine from week 1.
I took the vibrating butt plug out this week, so...
And here I am.
Now, Plastique then went on to throw some shade at me.
I think we're all in agreement that J.K. Rowling is a cunt, yes? Look at Velvet nodding like she agrees.
And I did laugh, but to give some context, this was related to a toxic rumour from a while back that I was a fan or supporter of J.K. Rowling. So, just to set the record straight, fuck J.K. Rowling, fuck her views, and fuck anyone that uses their wealth to oppress or dehumanise the most vulnerable in our society. I have never said anything in support of Rowling. The most I have ever said on the subject is that I didn't think that boycotting Harry Potter was going to stop her dying a millionaire. And to emphasise, I am not happy about that reality, and I really wish it wasn't true, and that we could just stop her spewing her bile and helping to fund movements that hurt both trans people and our society as a whole. I've always tried to be an ally to the trans community, and I'm always here if anyone wants to help me grow in my understanding or query any of what they think are my views. Both Penny and Rory lambasted Plastique for bringing it up, citing Crystal's earlier speech about coming together as a community.
Did we learn nothing from last week? Or from Crystal Lapel?
Sorry, I did not check with Velvet if I could say that.
But it was all in good fun. Anyway, back to Vixen's critiques. Penny loved it, stating that back in week 1 she couldn't have seen Vixen making the final, but now she definitely could. Yshee Black called it amazing, ridiculous and topical, loving the wig reveal between both parts, but what did she think of the live?
But you were just chatting shit, and I was just like, yeah! To be fair, I did think it reminded me of you a little bit, to be fair, when you come on a ramble a bit. And I was like, but it was really entertaining, in a really good, it was entertaining.
Simon Duke from the Chronicle never said that.
The absolute shade. Rory agreed though, enjoying the mundanity of the live and the characterization, saying that Vixen would definitely need to come back for the final at Boulevard. Finally, Gladys had this to say.
From empowerment, I mean that song, as soon as you got to the chorus of it, I clapped to the floor there. It put me in mind of on our first birthday at Rusty Showbar. We had Juno Birch here, do you remember? We were backstage. And we were talking about that word, the T-slur, and how uncomfortable it made some of us. And she came out and she made the whole room chant it. And that's reclaiming power. Putting it in that song was fucking nothing short of iconic.
Now, Yshee had been tearing it up on the judging panel tonight, not holding back on her critiques and having the best time laughing on with her fellow judges. But before it had all started, I'd been able to get a very brief interview with her about her fandom of the competition and her expectations of the night. I'm gutted that we weren't able to talk for longer, but the show was about to start. Here's my interview with Yshee Black. Oh, hello there, it's me, the Velvet Snatch, at the semi-finals of a Drag Idol. Now, I'm here with our extra special guest judge, Yshee Black.
Hiya, Babs!
How you doing? I don't know who I'm talking to, whether I'm talking to this.
Oh, yeah, eyes up here. Yeah,
that's it. I've got my eyes on your ruff.
Oh my God, I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah.
First time doing Drag Idol. I've loved it ever since day dot. So this is a big thing for me.
Well, that's it. It's like, having a super fan getting to be a judge. It's an amazing experience.
It really is. It's better than Drag Race. I'll tell you that now. I'm so excited. This is crazy. This is crazy that I'm here.
Now, when have you been watching from, or what's your earliest Drag Idol memory?
I think about 2023.
Yeah.
Ish, I was watching it intermittently. Yeah. And I watched the Delta Quadrant and all sorts. So yes, it was really good.
Delta was so good in that year.
Yeah.
But how have you felt about the competition this year?
Really good, really great talent. All of these lot in the semi-finals, I love all of them individually. So this is going to be a very hard week, very tough week, but I'm very excited.
That's fair enough. And now I have to do this because I missed interviewing you when we were doing the Tuck Shop Panto.
Yes, Tuck Shop Panto.
And that was so I got to speak to all of the stars there and stuff. How was it like doing that? Compared to... It got photobombed by Rory.
Always. It was great. Panto is such fun. And because it's an adult panto and it's drag, it just feels like extended cabaret. Yeah. We're all so silly on stage and off stage. We're just chat crap. And we always try and trip each other up in the wings. And we try and do really funny things. So I love panto so much. It's literally a highlight of my year.
No, it's brilliant. Yeah. And are there any performers that you're looking forward to tonight?
Ooh, I love them all equally. They're all my darling children. Yeah, I see what you did there.
Tactical.
Yeah, I see what you did there. Yeah, not going to get me in trouble. I want to come back.
No, thank you so much for speaking.
No, thank you for having me, babes. Come in.
Have a great night.
I can't wait.
Next up was Alita Vodka with the prop of an urn, coming out in full black mourning gear to lay to rest former Drag Idol contestant Chanel Marie.
The incompetent Chanel Marie. Yes, Chanel wanted to be laid to rest in the one bar where she never got the chance to perform in. But she still has so much more to see. The 2000s brought a drag idol breed. The decades later, things changed indeed. We've lost our values, but we kept any tea. You got a lot to see.
But where would she spread her ashes?
Oh, Chanel, we finally made it.
The Rusty Showbar!
Yeah, I will spread your ashes, but where do you want to be? Ooh, Miss Rory's downstairs toilet. No, we can't go there. No, Chanel, I can't make those jokes about Penny. Right, not the picture and switch basement. Oh wow, you want to be where you love the most. Let's go to the smoking area.
It's a twister! It's a twister!
At the end of the day, I guess she was laid to rest in her favorite place. A man's face.
It was a decent number, and the lyrics on the parody song were good. Plus, I loved the terms and conditions bit at the end.
The terms and conditions, Chanel Marie, aka Jack, was asked prior to tonight for this number for their consent to be absolutely dragged in this number, and there's no drama or feud between the artist and I.
But Chanel was from my year of the competition back in 2019, and I don't think they performed up here since, so it was a bit of a niche subject to base a number around. The live was slightly better though, with Alita bringing out her own will and reading through it to the judges, with some additional shade cast at Gladys.
Oh no, I can't forget Gladys! I always forget about you, I'm so sorry. So for Gladys, I will actually leave my Uber One subscription so you can always be on time for Drag Idol. I have to drive to Leeds after this and fucking start an hour late. And that's not your fault this week.
The best bit, however, was the fact that she looked like she was actually reading the list, but there was nothing written on the back of it. No notes or prompts. She was just acting.
And finally to Dixon. Oh, there's an easy way to sort this out. So for you, I'll leave you my phone and my phone contract so you can finally promptly answer your DMs. So that's all I have for tonight. My name's Alita Vodka, because that's what it takes to make me look like a woman. Thank you and good night!
The judges agreed that despite liking Chanel, she was a bad subject for the performance, with someone more current probably being a better choice, with Gladys going on to suggest Miss Rory herself.
For example, sorry, Rory didn't get a jab in there. Could have been Rory's funeral. That would have been brilliant. You know what I mean? No offence. Not that I want you to that.
No, and do you know what? I'd have been absolutely fine with that.
Exactly.
I would.
There we are. Sorry.
Both Penny and Yshee called the number safe, with Yshee saying that the will would have been funnier with more random items thrown in, and Penny admitting that she expected Alita to do more. Rory confessed it wasn't her worst performance, but also wasn't her best, asking why she didn't get anything in the will, suggesting that maybe she could take Alita's ugly shoes from week 1. Plastique had this to say.
I think you're a tough person in this competition to judge, because this is almost like Alita Mark II, week 2. Because in the middle of the competition, you pivoted from where you were in the first few weeks, which was fine, nice. It was fine. And then you had, last week, you had this rebirth of Alita where you had these live songs and the parodies, and I know, did you see me? I'm smashing up there, Alita. Where you had the live songs and the parodies. This is almost like a week 2 for that, which is tough because it's also the semi-finals for everybody. I think it was fine, but I don't know if fine is enough to get you through to next week's Sweetheart Sorry.
Our final contestant, Khloe Kennedy, was next, and this was simply ludicrous, coming out as her prop and giving us a literal toilet roll.
Fears of a sharp rise in the price of toilet paper have prompted panic buying. People are stocking up to make sure they're not caught short.
There, that's the last lure.
I used to be a giant oak tree. Now I am just a roll of TV. What was I made for? What was I made for?
Going through adverts for toilet paper and continuing her lament on all the things that she gets used for.
Introducing two-way toilet tissue, the first bathroom tissue that's made to use both sides. Each sheet is specially printed with handy flip arrows, so you'll know exactly when to turn for a fresh surface. That means twice the time between rolls and half the fuss at the store. Two-way is soft, strong, and smart.
Walking out to a shower of toilet roll from people in the audience.
Could be that's called baby uncultured swines.
It was a simple concept, and the lip sync to the spoken word was off at times, but Khloe's presence and use of the wonderful costume, from former drag idol finalist Bipty P no less, resulted in a great little number. For the live, she gave us a slew of toilet paper gags.
Now, if I soaked up any more tears, I would start expanding like the lovely Penny T. But if you don't know who I am, you need your eyes checked, because I'm a fucking toilet roll.
And even when the jokes didn't land, Khloe had a comeback ready.
Well, I'm on a roll after that joke. Rolling down a river.
Going on to throw some shade at last week's guest judge, Pebble Dash.
One thing I love about toilet roll is it's used for many things, many things. Like taking your makeup off, you know, blowing your nose, or if you're Pebble, wiping grease off your fingers after a fried Mars bar. And that's the Scottish way.
And even Miss Rory.
But she's got a very delicate stomach. But you did use me in your downstairs toilet after you blew up after the Toby Carvery.
The mess around the stage was horrendous, but absolutely worth it. Both Penny and Rory celebrated Khloe's glow-up from last year, with Rory loving the outfit and pointing out the details of it.
I also love that underneath the toilet roll, you've got the newspaper. You are petty paper through and through. Absolutely fab.
And the wig's a bit of urine.
Yeah, I was thinking, is the wig going to be a little bit of pee-pee?
I saw Khloe.
It's piss.
I saw Khloe before the show and she went, look, original newspaper. And I was like, original toilet paper, sorry. And I was like, oh, you're fucking clever, you.
What?
Did they used to wipe their ass with newspaper?
Yeah, back in their houses, back in the day. Original toilet paper.
Right, yeah, because they did, didn't they? It was the toilet paper.
Comparing Khloe's progression in the competition to last year's returning winner, Scarlett.
And let's not forget, last year's winner, well, she is here. She's so fucking pretty. Let's not forget, Scarlett was a returner as well, weren't you? And you returned all the way to that final. Khloe, you're just so lovely with it as well. I love the absolute nonchalance of it. If toilet paper had a personality, it would probably be quite nonchalant, wouldn't it? Quite just like, yeah, okay, toilet paper. This song I found a little bit atonal, and I think that was on purpose. It wasn't meant to be like, because you sang a little bit in the live then, I'm like, oh, fucking hell, she's got a good singing voice as well. So I wish we'd hear you sing a bit now, actually. But maybe we will next week, and then we'll be seeing you there. So, you know, fabulous. Fucking toilet paper. Wonderful.
Why she said that Khloe rolling out at the start had fucking killed her, calling the number fun and the stand-up okay, loving the absurdity of it all. While Plastique called it fucking mental, saying how Khloe had shown a different side of herself each week of the competition and that she couldn't wait to see what she'd do at Boulevard. Finally, Gladys called Khloe the heart and soul of the competition, to cheers from the audience. With that, we'd seen all of our performers of the night, and it was time for the judges to make the incredibly tough choice of which 4 would be making it through to next week's final at Boulevard. But that means that we're heading into spoiler territory now, so if you don't want to know who gets through and who goes home, please grab a weasel, teach it how to play the panpipes, get it famous on TikTok, and switch off. Then maybe like, share, comment and subscribe if you fancy that sort of thing. For the rest of you though, here's what happened. When everyone was back on stage, each of the contestants were brought forward and we found out that the first 2 that would be going through to the final were Vixen Valentine and Dena Harts. And our first 2 going home were Lapel and Alita Vodka, leaving 3 contestants' fates undecided. Ultimately, it would be Euphoria Storm going home, meaning that both Strawberry Fat Cake Erotica and Khloe Kennedy would be making it through to the grand final next week. But out of our top 4, who got Best in Show?
We also reveal that we have a Best in Show. One of you was absolutely outstanding. Well, you were all outstanding this evening, that's why you're finalists. I want to reveal that the judges unanimously voted for Best in Show. Ding ding, it's Dena Harts!
Before she left though, what final words did Yshee Black have about getting to be a guest judge?
I just want to say, being here, being in Drag Idol, and seeing it, when you watch it, you watch it at home, you're like, oh yeah, that's it, then you go about it. But seeing the passion and the love and the dedication that all the artists have and bring to the stage, all the love that the judges have, and all the community here is so heartwarming, and I absolutely love it. It's really about queer joy, and not only do you do queer joy here in this building, but I live in London, and there's so many countless people that you give so much joy to and so much love that you don't even know. So I just want to say thank you. Keep being amazing. Keep being phenomenal. And I'm a fan for fucking life, darling.
And finally, before the show ended, we found out that the special guest judge at the final and the namesake of the Showbar itself would be, of course, former Idol judge Raunchy Rusty. And that's your lot. Thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of Snatch Talk. What's going to happen at the final? What can we expect from our top 4? Well, whatever happens, I know it's going to be a hell of a show, and maybe I'll see you there at Boulevard. If not, have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time on Snatch Talk. Goodbye. And she had a special announcement, with Rory going on to regale us with some recent foot problems. Fuck her views and fuck anyone that do you. She looked like she was actually reading the back, but there was nothing written on it and no notes on print. For the live, she gave us her view of a toilet paper gag. Each of the contestants were brought forward have about getting to be a guest judge would of course be former drag. So it was a bit of a niche subject to